Derby County finally have some positive injury news as we head in to the game this Saturday, Friday, up against Bristol City. It's going to be a huge one for Derby County as they look to get their first championship point on the board, maybe even 3 if they are lucky. If we look back to this time last year, Derby County were in a little bit of a better position in terms of league. Obviously, we'd picked up our first victory, but ultimately this season is all about building and it's all about the process. Now, in terms of injury news, Derby County have Rhian, Brewster and Kane Wilson back within the group. There's news in regards to that of Curtis Nelson, Lars Jorgen Selverson and Patrick Adjumang heading your way as well within this video. So make sure, if you have not done so already, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button and turn on that notification bell down below to make sure you can stay tuned with everything coming your way in terms of Derby County this upcoming season. We have obviously added live streams to the channel across the course of the last couple of weeks, and that's something which we're going to be doing on a more regular basis. Drop your thoughts on that down in the comments, and while you're down there, make sure you jump in the description, check out NordVPN, check out Kitbag and check out CD Keys. Anything you buy through those links really helps to support the channel and everywhere that this channel is wanting to go. So if you haven't done so already, go and check out those links, see if there's anything that you want to buy, and let's go from there. Now, if you have not done so already, hit like, hit subscribe, turn on the notification bell, but shall we get into the injury news? Now, obviously, last week it was revealed that Rhian Brewster was back training within Derby County's first team group, and he had been back with the group for about 4 or 5 days heading into the fixture at the weekend. Well, across the course of midweek, he played 45 minutes up against Oxford United in a behind closed doors friendly, and there is a possibility he could be involved on Friday. Now, Derby County are being protective of one of their key signings which has been brought in this summer, and one which they've worked really hard to do. Now, obviously, it was his first 45 minutes since obviously last season, which was his first injury-free season in a long time, and it is going to be very interesting to see if he does play a part on Friday. Now, injury-wise, he's in decent shape. He played 45 minutes, he's beginning to look sharp within the group, and that's obviously really important for Derby County as they begin to move forward towards this championship campaign, and obviously as they look to try and get some points on the board. Obviously, goal scoring hasn't been an issue, defensively has been more of the problem, but we will see how that shakes out across the course of the next few weeks with the return of a player like Rhian Brewster. It was also brought to my attention on one of my live streams that Kane Wilson is back training within the group, and he was back with the group on Monday. Now, he has been training on the grass across the course of the last few weeks. There's been a few social media posts from Kane of him on the grass and things like that, but ultimately nothing with him involved in the group. Obviously, John Eustace confirmed that yesterday when he made it clear that Kane Wilson's only been back within the group for 3 or 4 days, and obviously he's missed 15-16 weeks due to the injury and surgery that he's had to have, which will see him out for probably the next couple of weeks at minimum. So I wouldn't anticipate seeing him before the games after the international break, if I am completely honest. Now, there is some more positive injury news heading the way of Derby County, and that comes in the form of strikers Lars Jorgen Selverson and Patrick Adjumang. Both number 9s are expected to be back within the group next week, and will probably be in and around it in regards to the game. I think it's on Saturday, which is, I think we've got Burnley in midweek, and I think on Saturday next week we are up against Ipswich Town, which is when I'd anticipate seeing the arrival of Selverson and Adjumang to Derby County's first team squad. Now, there was an update on Owen Beck. Still working his way back to fitness. It's going to be the international break at minimum. Obviously, Blackett Taylor and Charles Abuka are still 4 to 5 weeks away, looking more like 4 weeks at the moment. Again, they're going to be after the international break, and we're in that same sort of position with Sondre Langas as well. But we do have an update on Curtis Nelson. It's not necessarily the most positive one. He was miles ahead of schedule and could have potentially been back involved right now, but unfortunately suffered a setback while Derby County were in Austria, and unfortunately that will see him out for up to the next 4 to 5 weeks as they help him recover carefully and calmly from that setback which he faced. Now obviously it is interesting to see sort of the injury list that we do have at the moment. Obviously Kane, Wilson, Rhian, Brewster, Adjumang, Selverson all should be back within the group by the start of the international break. You've then got the likes of Beck, you've got the likes of Ibuka, Blackett Taylor and Langas, who should all be back within the group at the end of the international break as well. And then obviously Curtis Nelson, who will be following just a little bit behind. But I do think that this shows the need for Derby County to bring in some top talent as they sort of move forward across the course of the last week or so of this transfer window. Obviously sitting here today on the 20th of August before I go live in just over an hour's time. It will be interesting to see sort of what Derby County do and where the transfer market goes from here as of now, because we're in a position where we don't really have any solid wingers at the club. We're not really in a position where we can sort of get those deals done right now, and that's obviously what we're waiting for at the moment. And as I look across at Twitter to see if anything is ongoing as I'm recording this video, we have not got any updates as of right now, which hopefully will come within the next week or so that Derby County can finish off their transfer window in a blaze of glory. John Eustace is anticipating it will take up until deadline day and probably the final hour for Derby County to sort of get that deal done and be able to sort of bring everybody in that they need to bring in, especially considering the circumstances that they find themselves in with regards to players and positions and things like that. And I think the injuries and the players coming back just shows the direction in which Derby County are going in. In terms of like fitness levels and things like that, we saw Ben Osborne, Bobby Clark and Dejon Brown all get significant minutes on Tuesday, as well as Rhian Brewster getting 45 minutes in that game up against Oxford United, which was obviously a big game for Derby as it was their first for the B team, which did end in a 2-1 defeat where Jerome Richards scored Derby County's only goal. But it's one of those for me where Derby County is certainly building in the right direction, and once we've got these injured players back, I'm not saying everyone's going to be sort of fit and available by the end of the international break, but once everyone's back, we've got a very, very good squad to work with. We're just sort of missing, in my opinion, a left winger, maybe another right winger, and maybe potentially a central midfielder. I know there's a lot of discussion about the right back position in regards to the likes of Max Johnston and Alfie Gilchrist, but it's one of those for me where we're not dying for a right back. We're not necessarily dying for that position to be filled, but obviously it would be nice to get an extra talented body in. Obviously with Max Johnston, it looks to be a deal that is probably just slipping away from us at the moment, but we're going to have to wait and see sort of how that shakes out over the course of the next few weeks, and whether that deal ends up happening to Derby County or elsewhere, we're going to have to wait and see. Now, obviously, you can let me know your thoughts on that down in the comments. Let me know on your thoughts of all these transfers that are ongoing for Derby County, the injury latest as well, as we head towards tomorrow's game up against Bristol City. I will be live later on today where we're going to be discussing the Bristol City game. We're going to be discussing everything going on with Derby County, and hopefully we may have some news in regards to that of a transfer, but you can obviously let me know if that comes through earlier. So hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and turn on that notification bell. Make sure you follow me across all my socials, as well as checking out the likes of NordVPN, Kitbag and CD keys down in the description. But that is going to be it from me as Derby County head in to Derby County versus Bristol City.